じゃあ、マルコムさん、自己紹介お願いします。
Hajime Malcolm des. America no New Hampashire Shushen des. Demo Colorado Sandaran des. Seifu Kanke no Shigoto Shitemasu. Daikakusei no Jokyu Sai no Musko Gaimasu. Nihon no Bunka ni Tanoshimi Gaimasu. Nihongo Nikagetsu Gyonkyo 2 des. Shumi wa basket toka, golofa toka, kentore toka, ame futo soro koto desu. Nihon mata ikon tanoshimi desu. Shapingo toka tabereo no tanoshimi desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
素晴らしい。マルコムさん、ありがとうございます。So, マルコムさん、thank you so much for joining my YouTube recording. And you just finished the master course level 1 for just an 8-hour session, which is just started. And you actually literally show up and speaking Japanese in front of the camera. Congratulations!
Arigatou gozaimasu. Mada
素晴
mada.
らしい. So actually, people are really, interested in why you're learning Japanese and how you are actually really learning. So can you tell me about who you are, just as a self-introduction in English, so people actually can understand who you are?
I live in America. I live in Colorado currently. Retired military, like a lot of people that are on JLF. I had deployed to Okinawa years ago. I was there for 4 months and fell in love with the country, got a chance to visit the mainland. I said, I want to come back. And so I actually came back this past spring and visited Tokyo and Kyoto. And it's everything that I remembered the country being, the people, the culture, the food, everything about the country it fit my personality. It fit everything that I desire, what I hold values to. So I was like, you know what? I think I want to continuously come back here. But I don't want to be the ignorant American. I want to learn the language. I want to actually truly learn the culture. I don't want to rely on apps. I don't want to be looking at my phone while trying to have a conversation with somebody. So I'm like, I want to be respectful. Japanese people are very respectful and very courteous towards me. So I'm like, I want to show that same love and respect back. So I was like, I need to learn the language as much as possible. And so it's funny. Like I said, I do follow certain whatever algorithms on social media. So I get a lot of Japanese type feeds and things of that nature. And then one day on Facebook, the great Terumi came across my Facebook. And so I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try this out. Regardless of what anybody else is saying, I was like, I want to put in the effort and I want to see if I can actually become fluent in Japanese. And so it's you and your advertisements, and it caught my attention. And so I was like, okay, I want to go ahead and learn the language because, like I said, I do want to continue, and I will continuously be making trips to Japan frequently, and maybe even one day purchasing property there. That's my long-term goal. I would like to do that. I've already looked into that process and seen what it would take, what do I have to do, things of that nature. Possibly even if I could find a government job over there, that would speed things up. But we'll see what God has in store for me. But very interested in the culture, very interested in the country, and so like I said, I want to at least be able to educate, to have a conversation and speak with some level of education with the local people.
Amazing. And you actually mentioned that when you decided to learn Japanese, you follow up some, maybe social media content, maybe some type of YouTube channel. And, if you see on the internet, there are thousands of contents in Japanese. And there are a lot of actually even language apps, even like Duolingo, and then thousands of the choice. Even now it's AI. Some people actually learning Japanese with the AI too. So when you have a lot of choices, it's always difficult to find what is the best one. But I'm just curious why you chose us at Japan Language Factory from the thousands of the choices.
To be honest with you, investing in myself financially, that is keeping me accountable because other apps, they're free. So it's like, I felt like for me anyways, I'm like, yeah, I can come and go. I can dib and dabble, take a look at it whenever I feel like it. But now I'm like, oh no, this is like investing in school. So I'm like, I'm investing financially into this and I really want to do this. So it's helping keeping myself accountable. It's like, hey man, you've invested financially in this. Why don't you go ahead and actually put in the work? And so it's not the motivating factor, but it's it's a reminder to myself. It's like, hey, let's not be wasteful. And obviously, I don't want to be wasteful with my finances, but it plays a part. It does play a part. Kind of like if you go to college, you don't want to go to college and flunk out of it. You don't have to go to college. That's your choice. So this is my choice. I want to learn to speak Japanese. So I'm like, okay, if I've invested in it financially, I need to go ahead and invest the time and put in the work. And so that's what I'm doing. I find myself doing it, but I also enjoy it. So it's not work per se. It is work as far as like having to learn a new language, but I don't look at it as work because it is something that I am passionate about. So I find myself studying more than 5 to 10 minutes a day or whatever. It's probably more like 2 hours in totality, just because whenever I have a break, I'm reviewing my notes. I take a lot of notes. I review all the videos as much as possible. I try to attend all the classes, and the ones that I can attend, I go back and I rewatch them at a time that's, feasible for me. So like I said, I'm invested. And so anything worth having or doing is going to take some effort. And so thankfully, I am seeing some progress. Not saying it's super easy, but it is doable if you put in the effort.
Beautiful. And you decided to invest the language school, and because that's going to be very serious step. But a lot of people also had concern, oh, I'm already age, blah, blah, blah. What if I can't follow? Or what if I can't remember? What if I was not good at learning something, language in the high school? And, they have so much thought how to make a decision, and how is the process of learning so far?
Sure, it's a challenge, but I'm competitive. I'm competitive with myself. And that's something I've kind of had to dial back a little bit, because participating in some of the group sessions where there's people that have been doing this for years, and here I am, I'm a beginner. It's been it's been 2 months, and I'm like, I want to speak like that. And I'm pushing myself, but I realize I'm like, but that's not your journey. I'm not there yet. I have to give myself some grace. So I've been learning to be patient with myself. But being at the young, tender age of 50, yes, it is a new endeavor, but I have the time. My son's in college, so I'm not following him around with his basketball endeavors. So I'm like, I want to do something else other than some of the other hobbies that I have. And this is something that I'm invested in. So yes, I don't think the age necessarily matters. It really comes down to your effort, your desire, your passion, whatever you care for in life. I think you'll dedicate the time to. You'll make time for it if it's something that you truly love and you're interested in. So age doesn't necessarily matter. I don't think. I really think it comes down to effort. Doesn't mean that I'll pick everything up as fast as somebody else. Everybody's got a different learning curve depending on that person. And so I try to do everything. I try to be proactive in my life and everything that I do. And so that's another benefit to me. I feel like I am exercising my brain. I'm challenging myself. I'm doing things that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, as opposed to my just routine daily life, which, is easy. I am a repetitious type of person. I do like order for sure. That's where I've just been structured. But this is me stepping out of my comfort zone as well, challenging myself and doing something that is a little bit difficult.
Beautiful. Right. I'm happy to hear that you like this learning structure or even community. So at the end, you said it's using is the most important part. And now it's 2025. The world is, happening so many things. And you actually even consider to relocate it to Japan. Or maybe it can be a second home. Can you tell me about why you're considering about, moving to Japan, and also what is your plan?
It's the vibe. It's everything that, I've been there twice. I've been to Japan twice now, and the peace that I feel. It's not for everybody, but for me, it works. The people, the respect, the courtesy. Japanese people, from my interaction so far, they're very nice. They can be kind of introverted, and I'm kind of an introvert as well, and that works for me. However, at the same time, if you approach them in a polite manner, especially if you know the language, they open right up. And so it's been the opposite of, unfortunately, things that I've been experiencing here lately. Not just lately, but, being in the military, I've been able to travel around the world. Even when I was playing basketball, I was able to travel around the world. So been around the world several times, been to a lot of different countries. Japan is just a country that just fit my personality, my values, my beliefs. The food, of course, is amazing.
For sure. Biggest factor, you have to eat every day. And you
Oh,
have amazing food.
it's clean. It's healthy food. You know what I mean?
Amazing. And the final request is if anybody actually thinking of even learning Japanese or even visiting Japan for the first time in their life, and what will be the advice to them to take action today, not to wait another 1, 2 years to learn something?
Definitely learn the language. Definitely, as much as possible, learn the norms and the values of the country so that you can be respectful and so that you can be respected and be received well. So I think first and foremost is always whenever you go to a new country, you always want to learn their culture. You want to learn their norm. You want to learn their values. You want to be respectful. And so for me, part of that is being able to speak the language or being able to at least communicate at some level. You're not going to be completely fluent, obviously, in a short period of time. But if you can pick up some sentences, some phrases where you show that you're actually trying. Japanese people are so receptive. I think people in general are receptive when you're showing them respect. Then they're apt to give you that respect and open up a little bit more. So, for instance, I went to the Spirit of Japan here in Denver this weekend. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I was speaking Japanese, and some people they kind of looked at me like, yeah, whatever. But then other people who I knew just had genuine hearts. So, like for instance, there was a lady here from JR, the Japanese, the I forget the train that takes you all over Japan, but they were actually here, and I was speaking to her in Japanese, and her eyes got so big, and then she started speaking back and she just opened up. You know, she thought I was just going to come up speak English, and she was nice regardless. But as soon as I spoke Japanese, it changed the context of our conversation. And so she's like, "Oh, here's somebody who's actually trying to speak, Japanese with me and communicate." So it just makes a big difference, I think. So that would be step number one. Do your homework. Do your homework. Try to learn the language. Try to learn some phrases, some key terms, things of that nature. Of course, I would say save up. To me, coming from this part of the country, in Denver, to going to Tokyo was financially accessible. It's much cheaper in Tokyo than it is here in Denver. So I was actually surprised by that. I actually thought that part of Japan anyways, would be more expensive, but it's not. I mean, the most expensive thing was my flight. Hotel accommodation, food, clothing, everything was so much less expensive than it is here in America. A lot less. And so that was kind of a surprise to me. So I would tell people, like I said, get educated, learn the language, save up, and go for it. Don't let anything stop you. If you truly want to do something, just dedicate it. You're gonna have to sacrifice some things in life for whatever it is that you want. You have to sacrifice and put in the time and the effort, and it's all worth it if it's something that you truly want to do.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Amazing encouragement to the others. Thank you so much.
Of course, arigatou gozaimasu.